I'd like to give a big shout out to Jace Maynard for the use of his photo here of Mr. Mike Robbins and the Nitro Nuts Top Fuel Machine. Jace has a company called JMP 1.0, and he sells his photos online. Reach out to him through Facebook. Also, this show is dedicated to Bullet Racing Cams. Mr. John Partridge has been a big supporter of boat racing for many years. If you're looking for a cam for your application, reach out to the guys at 662-893-5670. Now let's get on with this week's show. Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of Rev It to the Max. We have a good treat here in the house with you today, and that is Mr. Mike Robbins, the owner and driver of the Top Fuel Hydro Nitro Nuts. Welcome, Mike.
Thanks, Andy. Appreciate you having me on the show.
Absolutely, buddy. So tell us how you got started in boat racing.
Man, it was a long time ago because I'm an old dude. It was way back. I was about 11 years old, and my dad took me to the very first High Point boat race. We had a friend who was a JC, and man, I stood up on the bank, and I just said, that's what I want to do. And I followed that dream, and hey, I'm proof that if you keep digging and you got a dream, just stay with it. It can come true.
Man, that is awesome. Yeah, High Points was iconic, and be great to get a race back there again one day.
Oh my goodness, it's close to home. I mean, you know, for you and I both, our home track is 18 hours away.
It's crazy, isn't it? But, well, cool. So, when did you actually get to drive your first drag boat?
Man, I started crewing way back like in 89, and it was 98 before I actually got in the seat. And just surrounded myself with good people.
Excellent. Now, who were you helping in 89?
Man, I started out with Mike Sweat.
Yeah.
And that's a long time ago.
Yep. And so then you got your opportunity, and what was your first boat you drove?
The old Blown Bull. Went out to California and bought a boat, and we rigged that thing up and had some fun with it for a little while. Then I smashed it in High Point.
So you started out in what, top alcohol class with the Blown Bull? That was your first ride?
Oh yeah, man! But just right on. You know, if you're gonna do it crazy and go on with it.
Wow. Okay. So me and you've had some conversations about that ride in High Point when you smashed it. Did you ever figure out what happened? Can you describe the wreck for us or anything?
Well, it seemed to link back to a titanium rudder that bent. And, man, when that thing goes crazy like that, you think you can catch it, but you can't. You know, it just gets away from you and it's gone.
Yep. And so, yeah, I've got burned by a titanium rudder one time before. There's anybody think about doing titanium? There's multiple different grades of titanium, and some will bite you.
Yeah, I actually have a titanium rudder. I'd love to sell somebody.
Is that the one you was trying to pawn off on me about 2 years ago?
Yeah, that's it. I straightened it in the shop pretty decent.
Sounds good. So you went from Blown Bull, alcohol hydro. Then what did you go? When did you go top fuel racing? Or did you put another alcohol boat together? What'd you do?
Yeah, man, we put another alcohol boat together and played with it a little while. And then I had this crazy idea. I wanted to do some top fuel car racing. So I actually bought one of Doug Herbert's old fuel cars, and we never got it on the track, played with it. And then in 2010, I got an opportunity to drive for Bob Montgomery in top fuel.
Okay. The liquid quicker boat then, huh?
Oh, yeah. You know, Roger Wade was tuning that thing, and he knew that I always wanted to drive one. So the opportunity came up, and he threw my name in the hat. And I guess there was not, anybody else to pick. I don't know.
Yeah. Cool. Now, how long did you drive for Bob?
I did that deal a couple of years, and then let's see, I drove Eddie Knox's Problem Child boat, not a problem child. What was the other boat he had?
Evil Twin.
The Evil Twin. I actually drove that thing one time, and I drove some for Jay Whiskey River when his driver got injured, and then we just decided to put on deal together. And you know, Bob Ginther and a lot of people come together, and that's usually what it takes, and put that fuel deal together.
Right. So step back a little bit. I'm sorry, I didn't even hit the mic there. But step back a little bit there. You tell me about going car racing one time. I know you didn't get the top fuel car on the track, but I think you ran a whatever it was.
Oh yeah, we drove an alcohol dragster and ran it for a little while, and that was quite an experience too. I was down in Rockingham, and it was a fairly new Mike Boss car, and I smacked that thing down, and I got down to the 8th mile and was trucking right along, and got down to the end of the track and picked my foot up off the pedal, and the pedal did not come up.
Uh-oh.
And so I actually had to look down in the car, and the switches, at that time I didn't really think through it. The cutoff switch was in the very down below panel, and I cut it off, and that thing, you know, grenaded pretty decent. And the safety guys are chasing me down, and they come down and they're asking me why didn't I stop? And I looked at them, I said, don't you think I would have stopped if I could?
Yeah. And then I remember recount a funny story you telling me. You're driving that thing, or it might have been a little bit slower car at the time. And you're like going down through there, and those walls were narrowing in. You're like, man, I ain't gonna get down through here.
Yes, it's I'd only driven out on the water, and then when I first got to the drag strip, it was at night when I did my first pass. And I was like, man, this car is not going to fit down the track. It just narrows in on you so much.
Yeah, it's amazing when you think about it in the boat racing world, we're wide open out there, and you look over at somebody and you feel like you're running 10 miles an hour, but going down that track, I couldn't imagine being 5 feet for somebody. It's got to be an unreal feeling.
Oh, I know, man. It's a totally different deal. I mean, it's just, like I say, I just did not think the car would fit down the end of the track. The tunnel vision just closes in that much.
Mike, do I still have you? Looks like the video cut out there for a minute. I hope you still got
it took a little break.
Yeah. So then we get in the top fuel boat. So tell me about that. How was that experience for the first time for those that hadn't been in a fuel boat?
Man, the alcohol boat versus the fuel boat is just such a different ride. The old alcohol boat, you drive one, you got to manhound that thing. You just never know where it's going to go. The fuel boat, as long as you leave straight, it seems to go in that direction. But the wind is the hardest thing to fight because it's just hard to bring back. And then things are happening so fast that, again, as your brain tells you you got a problem, usually it's too late.
Right.
You got to be able to feel that thing in your butt.
For sure. Yeah, I remember the first year I went alcohol racing from a pro mod, and I think it was towards the end of the whole first season where my mind actually caught up. It would leave, and then about 3/4 track, I'd be okay. I'm with it now. I'm riding along. I'm on top of it. But for that first 3/4 track, you're like, just hang on, your mind was behind you. But,
oh yeah, and like I say,
go ahead.
I always look forward to the first pass of the year so I can go ahead and get my mind right.
Yeah, I can't imagine. So, what do you think about when they pulled you back 1,000 foot to 875? I know your crew chief, Mr. Roger Way, and Motorman love that because he don't like hurting no parts and shut it down early. So, what do you think about it as a driver?
Oh man, I like it because I got to pay the bills, so 875 is fine with me. Right. And it's funny because sometimes he'll lean over the capsule. I mean, I'm putting me in the water. He's like, take it to 850 and shut it off. It's like a test to see if I know where 850 is at, I think.
That would be Roger, right?
Oh, that's 100%.
Yeah. So tell me about the hull you're using. Tell me about the motor you're using. Give us some insights in your operation.
Well, the boat, I think you've made just about as many passes in as I have, hadn't you?
That boat's been around a while. Yeah, I enjoyed sitting in that capsule and riding that boat for a while. Back when it was alcohol deal.
Well, we took your boat that you were driving, which was an alcohol boat, and basically we just stuck the fuel motor in there, and we had to make some adjustments as far as making a little more stuff heavier duty. And the old boat, it just seems the more power you put to it, the more it likes it.
Yeah, I mean, y'all've got it on a rail the last couple of seasons, so I don't even know what is your top speed and your top ET right now, and that kind of thing.
Well, man, we're running. I think our top ET has been, I think, a 321 at 243,
Okay.
and at 875, that just seems to be a good safe ride.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, I think so. I think if you're you know, running over 235, 240 miles an hour, things gonna get hairy after that when something happens. But
Yeah, that old boat just seems like if it stays in the 240s, I mean, it's just a good smooth ride.
yeah, it doesn't look that smooth from the bank. I can tell you that, Mike.
Well, that's what my wife says too, but I got to make it sound good.
That's right. That's right. All right. So tell me about your crew, that kind of thing. How many people you got helping you?
Man, we got it's like 10 guys, and they are from every walk of the world. We got California, we got Tennessee, we got Michigan. They're from everywhere. It, the thing is, probably 75% of them are old boat racers. So we all get together, and we're there for the same thing, to run the boat and have a good time. And we have a lot of fun. And we've always said, when we're not having fun, we'll quit. But it's kind of cool to get that many people together from all walks of the world, and we're all there for the same common goal, is to do some boat racing and have some fun. And we have a good time. It's our boat family. And I'm sure you can relate to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's the best thing about boat racing, in my opinion. Is the camaraderie. It's another family we go to and go see each other 4 or 5 times a year and hang out, have a boat race.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I didn't get the same warm family feeling when I was car racing, and that was one of the reasons we went back to the boats. The boat family is just amazing.
Yes. Any key sponsors you want to thank while you're on the podcast here?
Oh, old Bob Genther has been great to us, and Integrated Metal Services down in Texas has been. I don't know how we could do it without him. And there's so many people that help us, and
Right.
this thing costs so much money to run. I mean, if it wasn't for other people helping, there's no way we could get that thing down the pond.
Yeah, I'm sure it eats dollars.
Oh, racing is fun, but it's expensive.
So, last couple of years, you've been running with SDVA, couple races each. Looks like they got 5 good races on the schedule this year. Any talks of how many races y'all guys are going to run this year, fuel boat wise?
Well, we're talking about that right now. Hopefully, in the next 3 or 4 weeks, we can iron it down and put something out there publicly where everybody knows where we're going and can come out and see us.
Excellent. And you know of any other fuel boats being put together or built or anything like that?
Well, David Carroll has got his, and I've been talking to Tyler Spears. So that is the only 3 that I know are active right now. There's a bunch of them sitting around. We just need somebody to, light the fuse a little bit and get this thing going.
Absolutely. So, tell us your most embarrassing racing story that you have to tell us.
Oh man, this is a great one. You were probably there. It was in Phoenix. The national anthem is playing. We're going to run at the end of the national anthem, and we had a little hole in the boat, and I sank on the starting line, and I'm just sitting there, and the national anthem is right at the end, and I feel myself going down, and I just sit there and go down with the boat. I mean, I just could not believe it.
I was looking through for photos today for you, and I did see a photo with the boat straight up and down. I didn't realize that was your national anthem. That
Oh yeah, tips are up. It's Sunday, first pass, and I'm looking straight up at the sky, going down. And I can hear the anthem in the background.
All right. So tell us your highlight of your racing career.
Man, it would have to be winning the 2018 High Points Championship for Lucas Oil back in the day.
Yeah.
We had no idea when we started racing that year that we would even run for a championship, and we won some races and we were runner up. It was like, man, we might can pull this off. And with a lot of people helping us, we did pull it off. And we were the last 2018 Top Fuel champion in the Lucas Oil deal.
Oh wow, cool! I didn't realize that. That's cool. Yeah, the last championship Top Fuel. Cool. Now, any characteristics about the twins that you like versus the single prop deal? I don't think you ever drove a single prop fuel boat, did you?
No, never did. Just the single prop alcohol boats. As far as me, I'm a fan of the dual props. I mean, they just seem to be a safer ride, and hopefully that will help, motivate and get some more people back in the sport.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Any big changes for the 2023 season with your power combination, or y'all got any tricks up your sleeve?
Man, I put new airbags on the dolly trailer.
There you go. I know Ron and Doe Chevrolet.
Todd Haas said it was going to pick. Yeah, Todd Haas told me it was going to pick up 6 miles an hour.
There you go. Well, Todd should know, right?
Oh yeah.
But, so how many motors do y'all carry to a race? How many heads you have ready to go? What's kind of, if somebody wants to go Top Fuel racing, what do they need to have in the trailer?
Man, what we travel with 2 complete short blocks on a little motor cart. We call it, back in the old days of the monsters, we've got these little carts made up, and we call one Herman Monster and one Lily Monster. So Lily has the motors on it, and she has 2 complete short blocks ready to go. And we travel with 8 heads, 2 blowers, and another short block in the trailer and another bear block in the trailer.
Wow. Okay. And then propeller wise, how often are y'all changing propellers on a fuel boat? They seem to be holding up better because they're twins taking extra load, or tell us a little bit about that.
Man, that's the magic question. Those things, we get them from old Dallas, and he does a great job making those things. And sometimes we can get 20 passes, and sometimes we can get, 30 passes. They monitor those things real closely, and as soon as they show any wear, we just, trade in and get some new ones.
Right. Okay. Excellent. Anything else I'm missing that you want to say, or anybody you want to thank?
Man, yeah, like I said, just thank all the sponsors that help us, man. And thank you for putting this show on. Thank you for having me on. And we need to get some spectators out there watching us, and some title sponsors, footing the bill so we can go race more.
Absolutely. So, I know that a company and people can benefit for what we bring to the table, and so I'm looking forward to help grow this podcast thing as a dream of mine. Interview great people like you in our sport, and hopefully more people want to get involved and support racers like you.
Heck yeah, man. I'll do an interview anytime. I love to talk.
There you go. All right. Tell your wife, Mary, I said hey, and all you people on your crew, and thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me. She's in the background listening to us now, so she'll tell me everything I did wrong after we get off.
Hey, she owes you, buddy. All those pictures you put on Facebook of her working and you're videoing, you're just sitting there on the couch or the porch drinking your iced tea, and she's out there mowing the lawn.
She does work hard, but I catch some repercussions from those pictures. Trust me.
Hey, top fuel. You live dangerously on the track, and you live dangerously at home, right?
Yeah, I love it.
All right. Thank you, Mikey. And
all right, buddy. Thanks.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to episode number 2 of Rev It to the Max. I apologize. The audio is still a work in progress. Hopefully, I'll have it solved by next week. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a like. Give us a comment. Y'all take care.